guys, it's me, Tartarus Queen Dragoness again with another video. Now, my state, Texas, has been under a microscope recently because of a law that is about to be signed by Governor Greg Abbott that bars transgender children from participating in sports. I had stated in one of my past videos that being a full-on transsexual is something that it has to be yet perfected. There is no way that a trans-identified person, student, is going to be able to get into sports unless the science is there. There's going to be a ton of people. We're going to be clamoring that Texas is beginning to set a trend as one of the most transphobic states in the nation. Even the most transphobic, period, in the nation with the implementation of this law. Now, I would be inclined to agree with you on this if it was not for the fact that people are overlooking a seemingly jaw-dropping problem in this state of Texas, and it's getting even bigger. Before I continue, I encourage any and all of you to read this particular book called Inside the Criminal Mind. In it has a detailed actual accounts of perpetrators and victims' mentality. And these are true stories that happen in real life regarding crimes ranging from murders, kidnappings, extortion, forced relations, robberies, etc. It's quite disturbing the lengths that criminals would go to get their fix or to do what they're entitled to. The reason I bring this up is that Texas Governor Greg Abbott recently stated that he will fight against sexual deviance. Unfortunately, for the transgender people in Texas, they are probably going to be in the line of fire. If you Google the population of Texas right now, in 2019, they're at about 29 million people. It should be around 30 million right now in the state of Texas. So let's just round it up then. And looking at the FBI statistical data, this is per 100,000 people. This is 100,000 people. Now look at that number. 53. Or is it 54? 54 actually. Almost 55. So you multiply 55 times 100,000 people. That's 5.5 million predators. About 1/6 of the population. And it could be getting bigger because of all the unreported cases. And it has deemed that at least 1/4 and at most 1/3 of the Texas population is a predator. Because this number is just reporting on one type of case and one type of people. This puts Texas as the #1 state for housing predators. That's disgusting. Some odd years ago, Shoe on Head did a video of an interview with a child groomer. In it, he stated he wanted to be part of the LGBT community and have his rights as well. Not too long ago, there was this big hoopla about transgender prisoners who wanted a piece of that pie too. You're joking me, right? You're a convicted felon. you have lost any hope of any unalienable rights given to you when you had committed your crimes. It's nice that Texas wants to progress and is willing to progress. And I have stated long on one of my videos, Texas is great as being part of, the ever progressive nature of, promoting LGBT rights, especially transgender rights. But it's almost near impossible as long as this many predators exist in the state. There is no transphobia inside the state. There is none. What it does have, the state, is trust problems with the community. Again, I want to reiterate and stress, Texas has a problem with trust with the transgender community because of this large number. Just look at these numbers here from the FBI. Between the ages of 10 and 39-year-olds, they are almost dead even. And this is over the past 2 years. Most of the victims are women. There's no shock right there. Victims are women, perpetrators are men. That's just the thing. The vast majority are between white people in their own home by someone they know. I'll show you proof of that. Most of them are white people. Look at the African Americans. They barely even make half. Over here, the victim makes barely even a quarter. Residence is home. Almost 14,000? Acquaintance. A little over 5,000. And most of them, a vast majority of them, use personal weapons. A handgun, I don't know why anybody who uses a handgun is a thing, but it's down here at the bottom. So anything like a baseball bat, a crowbar, something. Hands, feet, personal weapons, just personal weapons. A lot of these people take their time to get their meal. And that includes people who claim to be part of the transgender community. They make friends with us, the cis women. Okay, they make friends with the cis women. And then they go in their homes, and then they proceed to do their duty. To make matters worse, you see all these protesters that are out there. And I've always felt uncomfortable with the fact that these protesters even existed for trans rights. And while it's a good thing, it really is a good thing, it's a double-edged sword. Because of many people don't realize is that these protesters are probably most likely deviants themselves. And it's unfortunate that innocent individuals got roped into their agenda. Manipulated. Brainwashed. Into thinking that these people are helping out trans activist rights. They're not. They're helping criminals. And I'm pretty sure that somebody in the comment section is probably going to be saying, well, Mrs. Tartar's Queen Dragoness, Texas is a conservative state. Maybe they think that all transgender people are perpetrators. Were you not paying attention that I said California is second in the nation as far as perpetrators are concerned? And California is a progressive state. Far more than that of Texas. Now that I look back at these numbers over here, I can honestly say something. that these numbers look a little bit off. Like they're a little bit skewed. I've lived in this state for 39 years. I've seen some of the most ridiculous things ever happen for the dumbest of people. Okay? And I can say with certainty that a huge percentage of the ballpark figure of a third of the population of Texas who is deemed as a perpetrator committed this crime as a form of protest against the transgender community, both as the victim and as the perpetrator. Even the victim herself lies because she believes it is good for her, in the eyes of God, that she puts an innocent transgender person in prison. If the legitimate members of the transgender community have any hope at all in gaining trust in these two states, Texas, my state, and California, then there needs to be some sort of mercenary force to get these troglodytes out of my community and shipped off somewhere to some deserted place like Antarctica, Greenland, maybe the Sahara Desert. I don't know. I'm willing to do my part in order to make sure that people can live peacefully and prosperously here in Texas. Up into and including me turning to Walker, Texas Ranger on anyone who uses my community as leverage for their ulterior motives. And that includes people who use the so-called gender card just to get what they want. Listen, people, I want rights as much as the next person in this state. Okay? I want your kids to be living as free as possible in this state. But until these numbers go down significantly and stay down, then I'm sorry to say, I don't think things are going to get better in this state. They truly aren't. With that being said, I hope that everybody can soon live in peace. And I hope that you guys have a good day and take care of yourselves. Because things are going to get even more crazier later. Recuesca en pace.